Well, today's the day. It's time for another round of the Democrat debates. Should be interesting. Two new players this time are going to be involved in the debates. Well, I shouldn't say two new players. So Tulsi Gabbard will be back on the stage tonight. As we've discussed, she didn't get to make the last round of the debates. In my opinion, there was definitely some screwy business going on there, and they kept her off the debate stage. And, DNC pulling typical DNC maneuvers, trying to rig it for who they want to be the nominee. But she's back tonight, okay? Now, who's the new player that's going to be on the stage tonight? Tom Steyer. That's right. Tom Steyer has made the debate stage. And I'm not exactly thrilled about it by any stretch of the imagination. But we'll see what kind of moment he has on the debate stage tonight. However, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of predictions about what we're going to see tonight. Just got a feeling, okay? Now, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I guess later tonight we're going to find out. First prediction, I think Joe Biden is going to go down like a load of bricks, man. His campaign is falling, and it's falling fast. And I don't know for sure if it's going to get brought up tonight or not. But I've got a feeling we may just hear something about, Burisma Holdings, his son and the Ukrainian gas company, the Chinese dealings. A lot of that may come up tonight. And I'll be very curious if it does. Now, the reason I don't know if it will is because they're trying to frame this right now, a lot of the Democratic establishment especially, as nothing but a right-wing Trump conspiracy theory. And by doing that, they're able to keep the argument that they can use these, reasons as with Ukraine and the phone call and whatnot. We can use this all as a way to impeach Trump. So obviously we can't let Trump have any credibility to say that one of our people may have done something like this, or else it just kind of goes and defeats the whole. So I don't know if it's going to get brought up or not. I would like to see it brought up, though. I will say that. But nonetheless, I don't think Joe Biden's going to have anything worthwhile tonight. I'm predicting at least 3 gaffes from Joe Biden. 3 really embarrassing moments are probably going to take place tonight. Three or more. And Joe Biden is going to just start seriously tanking after tonight. That's my prediction. We'll see if it comes true or not. I've got a hunch. Now, who else is going to be in the loser column as of tonight? I think Amy Klobuchar is going to be just behind Joe Biden in the falling fast column. I really don't see her going anywhere. If Tulsi gets a chance to lay into her tonight, it's going to get ugly. I think it's going to get real ugly. Also, someone who I think is just possibly not going to go down like a load of bricks, but they're going to flatline because they're going to run out of funding and they're not getting any momentum, no traction, so on and so forth. Cory Booker. I really don't see Cory Booker going anywhere. Now, Beto O'Rourke, he has been flatlined for quite some time, really. Except, I don't see this being enough to get him a win in the debate tonight, but I do think he could have some explosive moments tonight. None that I would like or necessarily agree with, just because of the publicity that has been given to him recently because of his comments on, yes, we're going to take your guns, or in this LGBTQ town hall they had at CNN the other night. He made the bold statement that, if a church doesn't agree with gay marriage, hey, we're going to take your tax-exempt status away. Okay? So I think that some of those comments could definitely draw a lot of attention to Robert Francis O'Rourke tonight, and he may just have a, soundbited moment or two that could be talked about in the news for the next few days. So I'm going to go out and say he's not going to be a loser, but I don't predict he will be a winner tonight. Okay? Who's going to be stuck in kind of the mediocre column, not really going to come out ahead one way or another, and may not necessarily go down, but probably won't go up as a result of it? Who do I predict is just going to kind of maintain and not really get anything out of tonight? First on that list, old Mayor Pete. Now, Pete could be a wild card. We haven't really heard much about Mayor Pete lately, so maybe this is his chance to kind of reemerge a little bit, come out swinging, and make an impact. I just don't see it happening. And a big part of the reason why is because Mayor Pete is not the progressive he's making himself out to be. He's just a little too corporatist. I don't think there's a lot of people who really, except for the ones who don't do their homework, they're going to agree with his healthcare policy, so on and so forth. His Medicare for all who want it. We've covered what the issue with that would be. So I predict he's just going to kind of more or less keep flatlining along at the same rate. Okay, I don't see him going really up or down as a result of tonight. Who else is going to get stuck in that, not going anywhere column? Tom Steyer. Tom Steyer could actually be on the losing end, but I really don't see Tom Steyer going anywhere. Of course, he may make some points that are going to be more populist points, the term limits, so on and so forth. So he may get some reactions. But I think that if people really start doing their homework on Tom Steyer, a billionaire, you're someone who represents the class that most working class people have the biggest issues with today, because they look for the biggest loopholes out of paying their taxes, out of doing, as Obama put it, their fair share. They look for every tax exempt status possible to get out of paying any sort of income tax. And then they turn around and then they create jobs and then outsource them to save a buck. And then when you look at the Tom Steyer's history with the fossil fuel industry, you do your homework on that guy, it becomes very clear he's just like a lot of other people on that stage, and you really can't believe very much of what's coming out of their mouth. Okay, so with that being said, I really don't see much happening with Tom Steyer. He's been at the bottom of the heap. I expect him to stay there. Okay, I don't see him coming up. There's really not much farther down he can drop. I guess he could go back to where he was when he first announced, and that's not be on a debate stage at all. But we'll see. Okay? But that's my prediction for Tom. Now, who else is going to maintain and not go up or down? A lot of you might not like this one, but I'm calling it Bernie Sanders. He's not going up. He's not going down. He's going to maintain. If anything, unless Bernie comes out and finally does the smart thing tonight. Now, if he does the smart thing, he could go up. He could go up. Okay? If he does what I think he's going to do, he's either going to stay right where he's at or he's going to go down slightly. Bernie does not have, to quote the old Mick Foley line in the WWF 1999, the testicular fortitude to get this done. He just doesn't. I probably just made a lot of you turn this video off. But for those of you who listen and stuck with it, hear me out, okay? Bernie, for whatever reason, will not lay out good points that distinguish him from Elizabeth Warren. And so there is this consensus with a lot of Democrats right now that Elizabeth Warren is a female version of Bernie Sanders. You're the first female president. She's a younger version of Bernie Sanders. Hey, that's better. We won't have to worry about her having a heart attack and dying while in office. Bernie's too old. We'll go with a younger version. And she's female. Hey, look what we can get accomplished here. That seems to be a big consensus. They're basically saying, hey, Bernie, you ran in 2016. You didn't get the job done. Yeah, the DNC screwed you, but we got a younger, better version of you. We'll go with it. Except she's younger, but she's not exactly like Bernie Sanders. She just had to pledge to not take big corporate money. Kyle Kulinski pointed a lot of this stuff out on Secular Talk. She just had to pledge to take, no, I'm not going to take all this big money. But then we've got clips of her on TYT saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to take big money in the general election because I need it. You've also got Harry Reid coming out saying that her Medicare for All stance, let's see how she feels about that if she gets the nomination. And as Kyle Kulinski pointed out, that sounds like he's been talking to Elizabeth Warren. That doesn't sound like somebody who's guessing. That sounds like someone who has talked to Elizabeth Warren, and she has a public position and a private position. And the private position will come out when she's not having competition for public approval. If she gets the nomination, true colors come out. That's how it always works for a lot of people in politics anyway. Okay? So, we'll see. But what was Bernie's biggest argument? He had the chance recently in an interview. What's the difference between you and Elizabeth Warren? What answer did he give? Well, I believe I got the quote correctly, but Elizabeth Warren says she's a capitalist to her bones. I'm not. Kyle Kulinski talked about this also. So you said she's the capitalist, I'm not a capitalist. Now, we can get into what he meant, this and that, and as Kyle Kulinski pointed out, yeah, all the far left people out there were, yeah, go Bernie, that's what we wanted to hear. And then as Kyle Kulinski also pointed out, 65% of this country still considers themselves capitalists. So, Bernie, what you said is that she's better suited for 65% of the country than you. She's a better fit for over half of the country than you. How is that an argument in your favor? That's like me saying that I'm the better news anchor here and the better voice for getting information out to the public because the propaganda news draws in thousands of more viewers than me. So I'm the better one. How? Now, obviously, I will say I'm getting a lot more information out there informing people than you're going to hear on CNN. Even though I don't have a big channel, there's not nearly as many people watching at this point. It's a growth in progress, and it's not going to happen overnight. Now, and I realize that this channel has to grow over time. But I'm certainly not making the case that I'm, informing people of the things going on in the world around them more than CNN because I have less viewers. It makes no sense. So, Bernie, I understand your philosophy on democratic socialism and the capitalism, and unfortunately, Bernie, I think what your war is really against is not capitalism, it's crony capitalism, which is like corporatism. And that's not actual capitalism. But you didn't say that. You said I'm not capitalist, she's capitalist, so that's why I'm better. Except 65% of the country still considers themselves capitalists. So, Bernie, what you really did was you held up a sign that said, Warren 2020. And that was supposed to help you. Pathetic, man. Bernie needs better advisors in his camp. I mean, this just isn't getting it done. And I've heard it's because he's such a nice guy. Elizabeth Warren is a friend. I've heard all these arguments. It's an excuse, man. If you're serious about this, you really want to get this done, you're going to have to get smart about it, man. And this isn't going to cut it. This just isn't going to cut it. So I think Bernie's going to come out, Mr. Timid, just like he did in that interview. He won't attack Warren. He won't go after her. He really won't set the differences out between him and Warren. He may have some explosive moments on other people, but I don't see him finally drawing the line in the sand. This is Elizabeth Warren. This is Bernie Sanders. Here's why she is not another version of me. She voted for Trump's military budget that had more money in it than he asked for. She has taken big money in the past. I never had to take a pledge like that because I never have. I don't see him doing it. I just don't see him doing it. So, for those of you who stuck around to hear my explanation, we'll see what happens tonight. But that's my prediction on Bernie Sanders, okay? I think he's going to get stuck in the mud. He's not going anywhere because he won't step up and finally draw that difference out between him and Elizabeth Warren. Now, outside of that, the three people who I think are going to have the best moments tonight. I think Kamala Harris might come back. Could have some surge. I don't see her being the winner. I think she just could have some moments tonight. I think she's fizzled out a little bit, and if she plays her cards right, this could be the night that she makes an explosive impact of some sort. Now, if she ends up having rematch round 2 with Tulsi Gabbard, prepared to be put under another Mack truck tonight, Kamala, because she's going to plow your ass over. Hands down, end of story. Done. Okay? So, if Kamala's smart, she's going to avoid Tulsi at all costs, because that took a detrimental impact to her the last time they shared a debate stage. So that very much narrows it down outside of Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang, I think, could have some explosive moments tonight. He could be a winner, or he could just kind of be stuck on level ground. If Andrew Yang comes out, ready to brawl, get down in the pit, and he makes some good valid points tonight, and he doesn't just play Mr. Timid again or just talk about how much money he's going to give back to people, he could do very well tonight. Clearly, there has been some movement growing behind Andrew Yang. He just raised a lot of money, up like well over what he had been drawing in. So Andrew Yang has definitely gotten some support out of left field and out of nowhere. Okay, so Andrew Yang could do very well tonight. Andrew Yang could be a possible winner, or he could be right there stuck with Bernie, Pete, and company. Okay? So we'll see. But the two I've got my eyes on that could come out of this the winner. These are the two, and I'm 50-50. I can't pick one or the other. It's either going to be Tulsi, because I think Tulsi realizes at this point, I've got to really come out and make an impact. I've already missed a debate because they're rigging this system against me. They're probably not going to give me much time to make an impact tonight. I've got to be quick. I got to be precise. I got to be to the point. I got to get it out there. I've got to get these good sound bites on the mic, make my case, kick ass, and take names. Okay? And if she can do it, hey, if she can get it done, kudos to her. I think she could come out, again, the most Googled search candidate after tonight, and she could come out with a win. So we'll see. We'll see. However, I think the one thing she's going to have to do to secure that win is she's going to have to kneecap Elizabeth Warren. I don't see Bernie doing it. And somebody's going to have to do it, because Elizabeth Warren is starting to take off like a rocket in the polls right now. And that, in my opinion, is not a good thing. As you all know, I am certainly not an Elizabeth Warren fan. Okay, Elizabeth Warren has already started to show many red flags. She's got the public position and the private position. And the private position is more in line with what the corporate establishment already wants. So she's not going to bring about the change she's hinting at in her public positions. It's not going to come. It's not going to happen. And it's very wishful thinking in actuality. Okay, so we'll see. But if Tulsi doesn't kneecap her, if Tulsi doesn't come out and point out the military budget, the money, so on and so forth, if she doesn't come out and really point these things out about Elizabeth Warren, I'm going to say that Elizabeth Warren will be tonight's winner. If Tulsi can get out there, possibly take Joe down in one round, have a rematch with Kamala and smack her around a little bit, and point out the flaws with, say, maybe Amy Klobuchar, and then, really get some good shots in on Elizabeth Warren and call out all the stuff Bernie Sanders won't stand up and call out about Elizabeth Warren to establish the difference between him and her. If Tulsi does it, I think she's got a chance at being tonight's winner. It's all going to depend on how much time she gets to make her case and point out the flaws with the other candidates. So, just because I've got a feeling that CNN is not going to want to give Tulsi very much time, the cards are going to be stacked against Tulsi. I'm going to rank it, the top three tonight. I'm going to rank Elizabeth Warren first place, Tulsi Gabbard second place, and in third place, I'm going to have to either go somewhere between Andrew Yang to Kamala Harris, but I'll put them at a tie on third place. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I will add the caveat, while I do have Elizabeth Warren coming out in first place tonight from the debate, and it may not be because her policies are the best. I'm certainly not endorsing her. I'm just simply, with this sound-bited system of a debate and the way the things work, unless Tulsi gets the proper opportunity to dismantle her as necessary, or unless Bernie Sanders surprises me and finally takes the gloves off with Elizabeth Warren, then that could bump Elizabeth Warren down. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, it would definitely take Elizabeth Warren out of first place, especially if it's Tulsi who does it. If Tulsi can get that job done, Tulsi will carry it tonight. Tulsi will come out the winner. But to quote the Kill Bill line, I guess we'll see what happens, won't we? Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Independent Report. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up and like the video. Also, if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to ask, or topics you'd like us to cover, please drop a comment in the comment box below. And also, please subscribe to the channel, and if you do subscribe, ring that bell so you'll stay up to date when we drop new videos and you'll get notifications of it. And also, please support us on Patreon. Funds are going to be used to grow and improve this channel so we can reach more and more people and spread the message that the mainstream media doesn't want to tell people. We hope you'll tune in next time.